Join us as we delve into a story that challenges beliefs and takes you on an unexpected, heart-wrenching journey that will leave you both amazed and moved.
Dr. Ford Harrison had built his entire career on skepticism. As a renowned paranormal investigator, he debunked countless ghostly tales and haunted houses, earning him the nickname Debunking Ford in the paranormal community. He scoffed at seances, rolled his eyes at Ouija boards, and had an unwavering belief in science over superstition. One fateful evening, while browsing the internet for his next case, Dr. Harrison stumbled upon the infamous Hotel Spectre, a place notorious for paranormal activity. It was said to be the most haunted hotel in the world, and stories of Room 13 were the stuff of legend. Locals claimed that the room was cursed, and anyone who dared stay there would experience spine-tingling terror. "I'll put this haunted hotel nonsense to rest once and for all," Dr. Harrison declared with a smirk. Armed with his trusty scientific instruments and a thick layer of skepticism, he booked a room in the Hotel Spectre. As Dr. Harrison entered the lobby, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Eerie paintings adorned the walls, and the receptionist had a gaze that could send shivers down anyone's spine. Ignoring the unnerving surroundings, Dr. Harrison made his way to room 13. The room itself appeared quite ordinary. A standard hotel bed, a small desk, and a window that looked out onto a gloomy courtyard. Nothing out of the ordinary for a hotel room. Dr. Harrison snorted at the thought of ghosts lurking here. His first night in room 13 was uneventful. He slept soundly and even managed to catch up on some work. But as the days went on, strange occurrences began to happen. Objects moved on their own, lights flickered, and eerie sounds echoed in the darkness. Dr. Harrison was puzzled, but he refused to jump to conclusions. There had to be a logical explanation. One evening, as he sat at the desk, the room's temperature plummeted. His breath misted in the air, and he could see his terrified reflection in the mirror. Despite his fear, he remained resolute. There had to be a scientific explanation for all of this. But as the clock struck midnight, a ghostly figure materialized before him. It was a woman in a flowing white dress,
Hello?
her hair covering her face. "Who are you?" Dr. Harrison demanded, more curious than afraid. The ghostly figure spoke, her voice echoing like a distant whisper. "I am Charlotte, the cursed bride of room 13. I have been waiting for my true love for centuries." Dr. Harrison couldn't believe his ears. This was impossible. Ghosts were merely products of the mind, he thought. Perhaps he'd been working too hard lately, and this was a hallucination. For days, Dr. Harrison and Charlotte engaged in conversations about love, life, and the afterlife. Despite his skepticism, he found himself drawn to her, feeling a strange connection he couldn't explain. One night, as Dr. Harrison stared deeply into Charlotte's eyes, she reached out and gently kissed him. He felt a warmth he'd never experienced before, and his skepticism began to wane. Maybe there was more to the paranormal world than he'd ever imagined. As the romance blossomed, Dr. Harrison made a surprising decision. He asked Charlotte to marry him. The otherworldly bride happily accepted, and they planned a ghostly wedding like no other. On the day of their spectral ceremony, the hotel was filled with a host of ghostly guests. Dr. Harrison, dressed in his best tuxedo, exchanged vows with Charlotte. The ceremony was beautiful, and their love was undeniable. Just as they were about to seal their love with a kiss, a blinding light filled the room, and the ghosts disappeared. Dr. Harrison found himself back in the ordinary hotel room with no sign of Charlotte or any of the other ghosts. Confused, he realized the unexpected twist in this paranormal tale. His skepticism had made him a true believer, and the power of love had broken the curse on room 13, setting Charlotte and the other spirits free. As he sat alone in the now empty room, he couldn't help but cry because he was once again alone, longing for the love he had found and lost in the haunted hotel.